Hello again, guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is Divine Truth Tarot and TJ. He wants to be famous and he's currently chasing a fly that's on the porch. If you guys are wondering who TJ is, I'm kitty sitting. It's my parents' new kitten. And so he'll be in the videos over the next several days, likely. And yeah, if you haven't checked out the video that I did earlier today, please check it out. They've been super clear. There's been very clear, consistent messages coming through for the collective, and I'm grateful for that. And I wanted to just hop on again while we still have a little bit of daylight here where I live. And I wanted to check out some very unique decks that you may have seen on the channel. It's the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards here, and then the Earth Magic Oracle cards. So I was just feeling very earthy. We are approaching Taurus season here, and I'll be glad to leave Aries season. I don't know about you guys, but it's been really, really powerful and exhausting. So I wanted to tap into the energies here for the collective and to discover what messages do you need to know. And really, I want some earth medicine. So I'm looking for some earth magic, some earth medicine here for the collective. So what does the collective need to know? What medicine does the collective need to know from our angels, guides, ancestors, and from Mother Gaia? So let's go ahead and just dive right in. I've had a lot of requests for personal readings, so thank you all very much. I'm just now today starting on the April readings, so please give me some time to respond. I respond individually to each email, so it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes if I sit down to answer emails, it can take up to 3 hours, depending on how behind I am, and I am quite behind at this time. So I'm very grateful for all of the requests, and I will get to you guys as I'm able to, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. Overarching energy here for the collective. Wow. We have the energy of love flowing in, compassion, heart-to-heart communication, whether this is in the 5D or the 3D, heart-to-heart understanding. And, you know, this is that telepathic communication, that energetic connection, that red string of fate that connects you and your counterpart, that allows you to really and truly be connected and stay connected despite whatever physical distance or gaps there are, right, in the physical reality, in the 3D world. And I think a lot of you right now are probably thinking, okay, I am at this place where I feel very, very comfortable. I feel very independent. I feel extremely at peace, relaxed, and at ease with my life. I'm focused on building my life and creating in my life and really nurturing the friendships and relationships that I have. And yet, you know, this will be an underlying energy. Your counterpart is always there, and that energy that you share between your hearts and your soul is always ever present. It's like effervescent. You cannot get rid of it. You cannot release it. You cannot cut the cords. And so, and actually in a twin flame connection, it's not like a soulmate connection. When you try to cut the cords, you can end up actually hurting yourself and creating more pain for both yourself and your counterpart. So just see if you can embrace the love and surrender to the love. I think the message that's been coming through pretty consistently is just to stop fighting, to stop resisting, and just go with the flow and allow things to take shape and shift as they need to. And I really do feel like the feminines that I'm reading for, the feminines that I'm picking up on, if you're not at this place, you will be there very soon, because those of us who are in this place of surrender and compassion and just a deeper understanding for this journey and this connection, we are leading the way. We're the leading, you know, the leading women, the leading men who are lighting the path for others to travel a little more effortlessly. And that's just the contract that, you know, we signed coming into this lifetime, knowing that we would be the forerunners and at the forefront of this battle on Earth, and that we would be the first wavers, enduring a little bit more maybe than other waves will have to endure, especially the younger waves. If you're a younger twin flame, So we are definitely paving the path, and it's not easy work, but it's what we agreed to. So it is what it is, and we're here for it. You know, we're here for the battle. We're here to win. We're here to overcome. And, you know, this is so fascinating because we have spring equinox, ebb and flow, ocean as well. So some watery energy, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer energy coming through. So those of you that are Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, your energy is very present in this reading. And spring equinox, we just passed the spring equinox in, I think it was March 22nd, I believe it was. So we just had the rebirth, the renewal, and then we hit Aries season. So more rebirth and renewal for the collective. And, you know, it's like we are being reborn. The connection is being reborn in a more compassionate way, a more compassionate form. And we're learning, as I just spoke about, to really just go with the flow, roll with the punches, and to stop fighting fate, to stop fighting destiny, to stop trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. If something isn't right? Like when we're cooking something and we're in the kitchen, if it's not quite right, if it's not ready, we don't look at it. We don't turn the oven light on every 5 seconds. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You walk away and then the pot boils, and you walk away and the, you know, whatever you're cooking, it cooks, right? It bakes. We don't stand there trying to will it or force it to happen. So I think what we've realized in these connections is the more you try to force it, the more you have a kickback from your counterpart, an energetic kickback that doesn't feel good to either of you. Your counterpart does not enjoy disappointing you, and you do not enjoy being disappointed. So the best thing you can do is just really just be present for every single moment. And you know, the ocean is so representative of the seasons of life and the cycles of life. There's an ebb and a flow. You know, the water washes into the shore, and it's, you know, if there's waves rumbling at a shore, they get calmer and calmer and lower and smaller and smaller until they hit shore, and then it breaks, and then they roll back in, they gain speed, gain momentum, and this just happens over and over and over. It's very melodic, it's very meditative, it's very healing. That's why the water in the ocean is so healing. So there's some predictability, right, with the pattern of the waves, and this makes us feel at ease. But then there's also this unpredictability. There's hurricanes, there's tornadoes, right? There's earthquakes, and hurricanes and earthquakes in particular can have this devastating effect on the land, and also an effect on the ocean, on the rips and the tides, and on the waves themselves. And so this is sort of like life. You know, things are unpredictable. We think things are going along, everything's predictable. We're living our life. There's a cycle, there's a pattern. You know, there's habits that we've picked up. There's routines. And then all of a sudden something happens and it blows everything out of the water. And we have to roll with the punches. So this is also talking about your emotions. You know, there has been a rebirth, in particular for the divine masculine element of this connection. As always, apply this to your internal masculine and your external masculine. So this inner element, this divine masculine, this masculine energy that is healing, okay? It's healing the world right now. You know, the divine feminine had her day, and now the divine masculine is having his day. And divine masculines, as I spoke about in previous readings here, are rising up. They are waking up. And the feminine, like with this rebirth, with this resurrection, or just the waking up from the deep, deep slumber, the feminine's really having to hold space and be very, very steady. She is a steady component while the masculine goes through this transformative process. This is a reminder also not to attach to your feelings or your emotions, to remember that they're just energy in motion, moving through you, flowing through you, and you are not your emotions, you are not your anger, you are not your pain, you are not what has happened to you, you are not what somebody has said you are, or somebody has spoken to you, you are not even what you've told yourself that you are. You're so much more than that. And so, you know, when we attach to our emotions, right, we activate that part of ourselves that can keep us hooked and keep us feeling like we're failing, feeling like we are disappointing others, disappointing ourselves, feeling like we're never going to be happy. So it's really important that we see beyond the emotions to see a deeper layer and a deeper level of understanding, and to really be gentle and compassionate with ourselves. So don't aggravate or don't expand the emotions to make them more than they are, but also don't minimize your pain and try to just set it aside, because it's always going to boil up and bubble back up in a different way. And it's usually when we do that, when we suppress or repress, it comes back up in a much more devastating manner that is a lot more challenging to deal with. There's more layers upon layers of pain. And we didn't actually succeed in repressing or suppressing anything. We just basically set it aside for future use, and set it aside. We basically set ourselves up for failure, in the sense that we were going to have to deal with it one way or another, and at some point or another. Okay, so let's get a card here for the feminine energy. Well, you know it's good when it flies out. The shaman. Ancient healing wisdom. So the feminine is really in her power, in her healing power. This is the medicine woman, the medicine man of the tribe, who a shaman connects with nature, connects deeply with animals, connects to symbolism, the symbolism of nature, the symbolism of animals, the four directions. He connects to dance. He connects to ancient medicine, right? The healing medicine of Mother Gaia and Mother Earth. And the shaman can travel between worlds, right? So he might have one foot in the 3D world and another foot that is existing in another realm, another world, another portal. And the shaman cannot be contained by the 3D world. So even though his body is here, his healing abilities are often otherworldly. And you often see in his eyes or her eyes this sort of magical quality that takes you down this rabbit hole of, wow, there is more to life than what I am seeing, and there is more to life than what I have been told. There are different ways to heal your body. You heal your body by healing your emotional attachment to what has transpired in your life, your conversations, your connections, your relationships, and the way in which you've perceived all of those things. Excuse me, that's very rude. Excuse you very much. The cat's, okay, you gotta see this, guys. Look at how he lays. I don't know if you can see that. He is such an interesting cat. Sure, just go ahead and knock over my cards. So I'm just gonna leave them because he's just gonna knock them over. This is why they say cats are assholes. But he's actually very sweet and I love him very much. He's just a crazy man. Stop! TJ! He doesn't even know he's doing it. Or he does, or does he? All right, masculine energy. Where is the masculine energy at? So I had 4 cards come out, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for clarity. 1 second. Can you show me clearly, please? Where is the masculine energy at? I keep on seeing wolf instinct come up, which is interesting. I do feel like they're following their instincts at this time. Following their inner guidance. Solitude, island solitude. I don't know how accurate that is. I actually don't know if I agree with that. And vigilant stone people. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't really ever do this. I'm going to put those cards back in. It just doesn't feel right. So Spirit, can you please show us clearly the energy for the masculines? They're not cut off from their emotions. They're not cold. They're not the queen of swords. I mean, that's not the energy that they're in. That's like ice queen energy. That's not where they are. And they're not wanting to be alone. They're actually wanting to, they're starting to get out there and live again. So we have tree grounding, which feels a lot more like the energy that they're actually in. So the energy of wanting to connect back into their lives, wanting to, like, I just see a masculine interjecting himself back into the land of the living and wanting to live again, wanting to experience life, wanting to experience connection, wanting to experience conversation, communication, clarity, wanting to bring that to the table, and just wanting to immerse himself back into the land of the living. It's like I just see him being dropped back into his life, but it's like he's in a different vessel, a different form. That cat. Look at him. Like, can you even? I can't even. I can't. Okay, this keeps on coming out, the wolf instinct card. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect with that. Ow. 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 So the masculines are definitely responding in a different way to life, you know, as they emerge themselves in life, they start to, or they emerge back to the land of the living, they immerse themselves back into life. They are definitely connecting to their inner instincts, and they know now where they are supposed to be. They're not taking their own shit anymore. They're not taking their own excuses anymore. Just sort of like, for a long time, they allowed themselves to be subjected to lies and deception, self-betrayal, and they're just not on that path anymore. They couldn't lie to themselves if they wanted to anymore. It's no longer who they are. It's no longer what they're going to accept from themselves. So let's go ahead and, so Spirit, what has been cleared away or worked on with this new moon? Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. So there is an energy of protection coming through this new moon. I feel like the masculines and the feminines are both actually very protective of what they've created and what they've been creating, what they are still creating. And also they're very protective of their connection at this time. So even if you're in silence or not in communication in the 3D, there's still this element of no one's going to fuck with my connections, no one's going to fuck with my convictions and my beliefs. So make plans and focus. So how is the feminine focusing? How is the masculine focusing? Well, let's find out with some tarot. What is the feminine protective of right now? I feel like it's her own growth. Two of Swords. Perhaps, and this feels like it's for a small select few of you, perhaps you've been challenged to make a decision, and so this card is coming up to, it's sort of like identifying that you have had trouble making a decision and that you've been really protective of this life that you have created. Let me see if I can get more clarity, because that's still a little murky. King of Swords. So you've moved, feminine, from this sort of indecisive energy to a very committed, professional, and you know, the King of Swords is logical. He's the king of logic, right? The king of the calm mind. You've moved to a place where you're not letting things upset you anymore. You're not worried about decisions that you have to make, and if you're going to make the right one or the wrong one. You're very connected to your convictions of what you know to be true. And you feel definitely more mentally and emotionally balanced in doing so. So now, what is the masculine protective of? He's protective of his Empress. This Justice card just keeps coming out over and over and over. The masculines really want to drive that point home, that they want to bring in the justice to these connections. And he's connected. He's protective of his Empress. He's protected of his inner feminine, who he's currently molding. He's currently connecting to her. He is connected to her. He's currently nurturing his inner feminine, but he's also very connected and very protective of his outer feminine. And he really, really wants you to know that. So if you feel like he's not talking to people about you, like if you feel like he's been closed mouth, he hasn't told people in his life about you, or you're wondering, he actually is talking about you to people in his life. And he does want to bring this justice in. And he knows that his queen deserves to be on her throne, and she deserves to have that primary spot in his life. I mean, he knows this, and until he can make space for you, I feel as though he may be kind of stumbling or fumbling a little bit to come forward, because he's like, he puts you on a pedestal, feminine. He wants to bring in that justice once and for all. Two of Pentacles. It's funny. You guys, what's interesting is the masculine energy has the Two of Pentacles energy in their field, and the feminine has the Two of Swords. And it's really both of these energies are about making decisions. Two of Pentacles, it's like, have more fun, be more lighthearted, right? So the masculines are trying to do that when they're making decisions in their lives. It's like they're realizing they don't have to have it all figured out or have a grand gesture that they bring forward to their feminines. They just need to make a decision, and they just need to move forward. They just need to make a decision and stick with it. And it doesn't have to be this laying out the red carpet. It doesn't have to be a billion dozen roses. It doesn't have to be perfection. They just need to speak their truth and come forward and share their hearts and their thoughts and their lives with their feminine. Like, that's all she really wants. Spirit, tell me more about the masculine energy here and what it is that they're experiencing, what they're healing, what they're working on. Wow, a lot of guardian energy. Very protective energy coming up right now this evening for the connections. Water guardian, so more of that watery energy, more of that Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energy, connecting with your emotions. So the masculine is really in the Queen of Cups or King of Cups energy, but sometimes the King of Cups can be a little reserved, and sometimes the Queen of Cups can be the opposite. She can be too overgiving. She can almost be or appear codependent on others, give, and be the martyr, you know, at the expense of her own health and happiness and joy. So I feel like this is a more balanced energy coming in for the masculines, but he is focused on his feminine. He is in his feelings about bringing justice into this connection. This is interesting, guys. And if you haven't seen this play out yet in your physical world, don't worry, because energetically, this is the energy that we're picking up on, and this is what is happening and what's transpiring. And then for also the masculines, we have the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. They are doing a lot of thinking right now, a lot of reflecting, and they know where they want to be. It's not like, oh, I don't know anymore. Should, you know, they're not in that place of indecision. They're not in that place of a stalemate. They've broken out of that. So that's like the past energy, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and moving into this place of protection, moving into this place of making plans, focused intentions, focused action, very agile energy. But I do feel a veil of protection around these connections at this time. I really do. So yeah, the masculine's focused on seeing things from this higher perspective, like that laser sharp focus that the eagle has of being able to be so high up and yet see even the most minute detail on the ground. So the masculine is not playing around, and he's not, you know, he's in it to win it. He's not fucking around anymore. So if you had an immature masculine who was just indecisive, non-committal, Either expect a new, don't even think about it, either expect a new masculine to come in, or expect your masculine to come in a very different version of themselves. Again, they're having this rebirth energy, this transformative energy, the death and rebirth card that's showing up over and over and over, along with the justice card. What about the feminine energy? What is she learning at this time? What is she experiencing? Lady. So this would actually be the Empress. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. So fascinating. So you are absolutely in his mind. You are absolutely on his mind. You are definitely at the forefront of his mind and everything that he's doing. He's connecting to his emotions. He might even be shedding tears over you, shedding tears over this connection. Say hi to TJ. And he's not punishing himself anymore for having feelings for you. He's not punishing himself. You can't just lay on that, honey. So rude. He's not punishing himself anymore for feeling a certain way, right? He's not going to be in that energy anymore of, well, I can't appear too vulnerable. He doesn't, like, what does he have to lose? You know, it's like the energy of, what do I have to lose at this point? I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain. And speaking my mind, speaking my truth. So if he hasn't yet, guys, he's going to burst through and burst forth and come forward. And I just see a masculine, you know, he's got shield and armor, but it's like more to protect you and the connection in himself from the external world and people that might try to get in the way. And he's just going to be bursting forth like a gate or a fence. So let me know if that resonates. Give the video a like if that resonates. I feel like that's what I'm seeing coming through. Like, he doesn't care what obstacles are in his way. If there's a security guard, like at your apartment complex or something, he's like, I don't care. I'm gonna find my way through. I'm gonna cut through the obstacles. Okay, that's very rude. Okay, we've talked about this. Oh my Lord, excuse you very much. So in the connection, in the union energy, we have Oracle. Oracle, if you guys are familiar with the Delphi, the Oracle of Delphi in Greece, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. It's a beautiful city. Okay, it sits high in the mountains. And Delphi is more of not a physical person, but more of an entity, not an entity, excuse me. Cancel, delete that. I don't like that word at all. More of a spiritual energy, right? And it's an energy that you can connect to. And she was able, you know, people would go to her and they would ask for answers. They would go to her with prayers. They would go to her for clarity. And I actually visited there in 2008, and it was a really incredible place. I have a deep connection to Delphi and a deep connection to Greece, actually. And she just had the ability to see the future, to foretell the future, to assist people in gaining clarity about things they needed clarity on, things they needed answers to in their lives. So it says, wait for important information. So both counterparts, I think, are waiting on the green light, whatever that means and whatever that looks like for you and for your connection. You will both know, your soul will know. But definitely, this is so rude, TJ. Ah, you can't bite it. Now, have you guys ever had a kitten? Cover that up. That's like, shouldn't be shown on national TV, international. Ah, you have an audience. Cover it up. She's like, no. Well, awesome. He's moved the cards all the way over there. So I think it's time to wrap up the reading, but I hope you guys have enjoyed his crazy antics. And I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with us. Have a beautiful day, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. And just, you know, listen for the answers. Listen in meditation. Find the inner oracle within you. And, you know, the information is going to reveal itself. Things are going to be revealed in due time. I strongly, strongly feel that in picking up on that. Have a beautiful day, guys. I'll see you soon.